Good morning and welcome to Crypto Charts Daily. This is the Crypto Charts Daily Report. Today is September 5th, 2025. Let's get right into it. The market cap has increased by 1.3%, sitting at about $3.87 trillion. The CMC has also increased by about 1.8%, and the Fear and Greed Index sitting about the same as it was yesterday. We could see altcoin season though coming up here a little bit, as well as the average crypto RSI. Let's get right into the technical analysis. News favoring crypto this morning. As you could see, Bitcoin is making a push for those highs that we've been monitoring about 13,500. And if we do end up breaking this high of 13,500 on the day and closing above it, again, I would like to see a push to resistance to possibly break highs. If we end up wicking though and closing below the low of 110,500, we'll probably push down into support. But price is looking very strong today. Ethereum, same thing as yesterday, just holding the support. So we'll continue to look for a break of those highs of $4,500. If we do end up closing bullish on the day, I'd look for the next daily candle to continue strength to break highs. If we see weakness though, again, we're going to be looking for the break of the lows of 4,200. XRP bouncing that support and resistance line, and if we could close above these highs of 288 today, I'd look for the break and retest like we've been talking about. And if we end up wicking these highs and closing below these lows here of about $2.78, then we will look for the test of support. Jumping into the altcoins, nothing new with Binance Coin, just looking for a test of support, but we could easily just accumulate up into our break of structure. Solana, same thing, could perhaps break this trend line and test some support, but price is looking very strong, and we'll look for a push past these highs today of about 220 or in the next coming days. Cardano, again, we were looking for the test of support. We almost tapped our line, but it's okay. We're pretty much in our support area. So now we're just looking for strength on these daily closes. And if we break above this high of about 87 cents, we will probably end up testing some sort of resistance or going for those highs of $1. Again, if this ends up wicking in this resistance zone here in this order block, ends up wicking and closing the day bearish at about 80 cents or in the next coming day, we'll look for more tests of this support. Chainlink still in its support zone or order blocks here, and we definitely need to look for price to break this high of $24 about and break out of this resistance zone here. If price ends up wicking and pushing down below these lows, obviously we'll probably make a run for support at 17 cents. XLM, again, look for the break of these highs on the daily close. And if we end up wicking and coming down and closing below the low of 35 cents, we'll probably push down into support. But over the next few days, I would like to see price have some strength and test that resistance. Avalanche, we did end up closing bearish, but price is immediately making a push for liquidity, holding this support zone, these order blocks here. Again, if we end up breaking past highs on the day, look for a push to highs. If we end up wicking and closing bearish, look for a test of support. Hedra never broke the lows on the day. Look for the break of this small high to then test resistance and fill some imbalance. If we end up wicking again and closing below the lows we marked out yesterday at about 21 cents, we will probably push down and make a run for support. Polkadot testing the order block, and again, look for the break of these highs on this daily candle if we end up wicking. But if we end up wicking and closing bearish under 373 here, we'll probably end up going to break this order block. Uniswap, same thing on the next coming days. Look for the push past the high of $10. But if we end up wicking and pushing below the low of 9.5, price will probably push for lows. Hondo bouncing its respective order block, but not breaking above this high. We need to see a close above this high to then go test resistance for a possible break and retest. If we end up wicking this high again and getting pushed below this low of 90 cents, probably go test support again. Polygon, same analysis as all week, waiting for the break and retest of that 30 cents resistance. Algorand, same analysis all week, testing that 4-hour order block as well as the higher time frame support zone. It would be great to close a bullish candle here and go fill some imbalances and perhaps test resistance. Again, I sound like a broken record, but wicks do happen, guys. And if we end up wicking and pushing below the low and closing in this order block, price will probably break through the order block. Quant can definitely still use the analysis from yesterday. We're just accumulating down into this order block or support for the eventual push to test that resistance again. IOTA, pretty much the same story with every coin here. They're in their relative support, accumulating, perhaps can make a push for highs. But again, if we wick, we'll probably end up pushing down towards those lows. XDC, same thing, accumulating into its support zone, and we'll see how it reacts from its support to perhaps go test highs and resistance. All right, guys, that was an exciting first week of the Crypto Charts Daily Report. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you told your friends to buy crypto at the highs and they just got retraced down 40% and they want to hurt you, please send this video to them. Maybe it could ease their mind, give them a sense of where we're at in the crypto markets. All right, guys, this was Tanner. I appreciate it. And have a good weekend.